Good morning. Just loaded here in Toco in Lavington. Get out of everyone's way. Man, I'm so excited. I can't tell you guys why, but I am so excited. You know what, some days you get a phone call in the morning that just makes you happy. I can't tell you why, because it's very early in the works and we can't talk about it yet. But there's a chance, a good chance, I've got something cool in the... Sutco's got something cool in the books for me. Maybe months. But I'm excited. I really am excited. Excited enough to call Jess after. Oh man, I want to tell you guys so badly. Nobody said not to, but I'm not going to say anything just in case it doesn't go through. And it's probably mean to tease you like this, but oh man, that's cool. When the president of the company calls you and gives you a good day, it's a good day. When the president of the company calls you, it's never a bad day, or very, very unlikely it's a bad day, because he's got lesser people to give you a bad day if you did something wrong. Funky little uphill, so you gotta go low crawler gears to get going up this, even though it's only a US max weight load. It's not even quite max US weight load. So I don't have to worry about fueling up anywhere. I can just do max fuel. Okay, we are on Highway 6, westbound, headed from Lavington to Vernon. Drive this road very often, so we'll record it. Got a cruise control set here at 80. Okay, 81, good enough. It's either going to do 79 or 81. I'm going to do 81. We got to do at least the speed limit. And I don't consider 81 speeding. As a rule, 2 kilometers. I'll set the GPS within 1 or 2 kilometers of the speed limit. Not the GPS, the cruise control. Set the cruise control within 1 or 2 kilometers of the speed limit. I know most guys drive faster, but I've never been a speeder. That's not true. Before I joined the fire department, a few years, 2 or 3 years there, after getting drivers, yeah, I did some dumb things. But then I joined the fire department, and that sucks the will to speed out of you very quick when you see what happens to other people when they speed. degrees, so it's not hot, it's just getting warmer. Turning the AC on. So yeah, this load is going to Montana. So we'll head south to Soyuz. We'll basically stay on Highway 97 till we hit Omak in Washington, and then we'll cut across. I can't remember the highway number there. Is that Highway 2? Cut across to Spokane, take I-90 all the way to Montana. Not sure how far we'll get today. Trip takes 11 and a half hours from here, and we have 9 hours of drive time left for US hours of service. So I'll be 2.5 hours short of making it, so we'll see. To find rest areas and places I've not driven very often. It's okay, on the weekend I looked up fuel stations. We've got quite a few options for Loves and Flying J's, so it shouldn't be a problem. I fueled up in Penticton over the weekend, so we're near full tank right now. Coming up to Vernon now. I know. Only thing I can think of is I'm having a good day and I want to talk about it, and I really want to record this section of highway, but all I can think of is the other thing. So I'm definitely a squirrel moment right now. I called Jess and she's pretty excited. have the reduced speed limit before you go down the hill. Coming down to Vernon, but we're not going to see much of Vernon because we're kind of staying on the south end of Vernon here. Smoky. Seems to clear out during the day, and then by evening it's thick smoke again. Just depends on the wind. Vehicles behind me are cutting behind me, so I think they want to make a right-hand turn here. I'm going to want to make a left-hand turn, so let's get out of their way. A favor and doing myself a favor. Nice. Gives me a wave as a thank you. It wasn't letting you in, you just took the space. Red plate syndrome there. Sorry, that's a discriminating term to use. Most red plates are really nice people. Really, they are. It's just when we get cut off over here, when we have someone inconsiderate, most of the time they are a red plate vehicle. If you don't know what I mean by a red plate vehicle, the neighboring province has red plates. The numbers are red. So anytime there's a tourist from a neighboring province, it's a red plate. And their culture, I guess, is a little different there, and we tend to hate on them a bit. Probably unfairly. Yeah, not probably. For sure unfairly. And I think most of the times when we get cut off, that's not even true yet, but a lot of the times we get cut off, they didn't know that they had to shift into that lane, and they got caught off guard. They're just tourists. But some of them are just complete idiots, so because of the few, we tend to hate on all of them, and it's not quite fair to the rest. And I think that goes for any kind of discrimination. So perhaps in the future, instead of going, that red plate car driver, I should just go, that driver is annoying. Just that particular driver did something annoying. It doesn't matter where they're from or who they are. Just that particular human being. Yeah, I'm turning into a much bigger subject, as in all discrimination type of thing. We always do the red plate thing as a joke, but to be more serious about it, we say things as a joke that can hurt people. Watched a video where there's a completely different topic, but it is racism. Completely different topic. Professor refused to let his students call slaves. Anytime you talk about slaves, instead of talking about slaves, he forced all his students to say enslaved people. Because when we say slaves, a lot of the time, in fact, I think all the time back in the day, black folk in the U.S. were not considered humans. So instead of calling them slaves, we should call them enslaved people to humanize everyone. We're all human, right? A lot of the hate seems to be directed at East Indians from Pakistan or India, Muslim or Hindu. A lot of the hate tends to be directed at them or at the natives. It's like, you know, we gotta stop that. We're all human. Not cool. Today I put a mask on when I stopped at the gas station to use the restroom. I got some funny looks. It's like, hey guys, anyone watching live on the weekend would have known that I wasn't, I guess it's 2 weeks ago, would have known that I wasn't feeling particularly well. I'm like, just in case it's contagious, even though masks are no longer mandatory, just in case what made me feel ill is contagious, I'll just put a mask on so I don't spread it to anyone else. It's a courtesy thing. So if you see someone that's not feeling great, putting on a mask, they're being courteous to you, that's all. Instead of giving them funny looks, thank you. Thanks for wearing your mask when you're not feeling well. I don't care how you feel about the subject. They're just trying to be polite, right? They're trying to be courteous. I don't have to wear a mask if I'm feeling sick. I could cough all over you and make you sick instead if you prefer, but having said that, I don't think I've got the right to force other people to wear masks. I think we all have the right to make our own decisions. Does the government have right to enforce masks? I don't know. Is a pandemic going around? Maybe. That gets all political. Just have a smaller engine in there that doesn't have as good engine brakes as I do. Such a beautiful drive along here. If you're ever coming through this way, OYAMA, and take the detour to ride on the bottom of the lake instead of on the highway up here. It's not much slower. The highway goes much higher elevation, but the down lower elevation is beautiful drive right on the lake. Lots of places to pull out, park, and walk to the Kalamalka Lake. And Kalamalka Lake is this beautiful turquoise green lake. It's hard to tell from this far away and on smoky weather like this. Up ahead you'll see the exit soon, a couple miles away. I can see it from here, but still got a couple of corners and ups and downs to get there. And I guess that road doesn't really go along Kalamalka Lake because Oyama is north of, or Oyama, the Kalamalka Lake is north of Oyama, and what's the lake south? Wood Lake, I think. So yeah, that one's, but they're pretty much the same type of lake. Kalamalka Lake actually has a couple of detours as well with a nice viewpoint that we passed up back earlier when we first started climbing out of Vernon. You see signs for a viewpoint. Take that whole road along there. The scenic byway is well worth it along this lake. off to the right over here and then drive under this highway and then continue south. And then you don't have to climb this big climb over here, and you drive right along the lake. But anyway, I'm going to catch up with you guys down the road. I'm outpowering the garbage truck. I understand why he did that. Cool. Anyway, I'll catch up with you guys down the road and do another clip. I know the first clip is like half an hour long, but I rarely come this way, so. podcast and talking to friends. We've had some good, deep discussions. I won't get into here, but I was just thinking, today's society, when somebody did something stupid 20 years ago, and today we find out that that person did something stupid 20 years ago. pitchforks. Look at the time, the era that person was in when they did that something stupid. I've done stupid things 20 years ago. In fact, I bet you in the last 4 years, if you guys go through my videos, I've said things that are stupid. This wheat is really getting close to harvest. It's beautiful. We're in Washington, coming up to a town here. Just don't remember what it is. So if you guys ever hear me say something stupid or watch an old video, and I don't need you guys to defend me. I know some of you guys are going to go, we know you well enough, you didn't mean any harm by it. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I meant to do any harm by it. If I said something stupid that didn't intend any harm, but it harmed someone, that's still something stupid. If you guys ever hear me say something dumb, feel free to call me out on it. I mean, it's not going to feel good for me, but I'd like to learn. I'd like to learn how not to offend more people. Because being a hypocrite is never fun. And honestly, we all are hypocritical sometimes. I read the book, The Inconvenient Indian, and I learned quite a bit in that book. I suggest that for anyone to read. Kind of a dry humor, funny, but goes over some very serious subjects. The Inconvenient Indian. Highly recommend that one. Written by a Native American. And it covers both Canada and US. One of my friends suggested that I read a book called 21 Things You Might Not Know About the Indian Act. 21 things you might not know. 21 things you might not know about the Indian Act. I can't recommend that one yet because I haven't read it, but my friend suggested it to me, so I'm going to go read it. Just to understand better what our past and our current government is doing to minorities. Like an example was the way the foster children law works. There are, like when we talk about residential schools, how we took away natives' kids and put them in schools and tore apart these families. That was all back then. It happened many years ago. Some of those schools were open in the early 90s, which is crazy to think that that's not long ago. That is not long ago. And the other thing is, foster children, the percentage of kids in foster homes is crazy how much of them are native compared to the population of Canada. So we're still pulling kids away from putting kids in foster homes. we put them in other native homes? No, we put them in white homes, not native homes. And some of the reasons why we've taken the kids away from the family, because the family's too poor to have kids. Are you serious? The law is written how poor you have to be before you can have kids. Well, you don't have any money if you're living off of the land. If you are hunting and farming on your own land and have no monetary value, you have no money. Of course you're poor in your white colonization mind. Also, the family structure. The community raises the child. It's not just the mother and father that raise the child. The grandparents and uncles and aunts and the rest of the community help raise the kid. So you don't need vast amounts of money. Some of those, quote, poor native families, I know I kind of got derailed, but some of those poor native families, I bet you their kids are eating healthier than middle-class white people. But they're poor because they don't own anything? It's just culturally different. So I'm trying to learn. The point I'm trying to make is I'm trying to learn what we are doing. What we are doing because I have through my life learned what is right for me. These things are right for me. These things are true for me. And because they are right and true for me, it must mean that those things are right and true for everyone else. And we have to get past that malarkey. Let's say someone is poor and they're raising a kid. It's still better for that kid to get raised with their own family, with their own grandparents, with their own brothers and sisters in a poor home than in a foster home. What is right for me must be right for you. Yeah, it's not going to fly. And yet we need to write laws that enforce stuff like that. I kind of have a fear that I'm going to say something stupid to be so disconnected with the world that I think my way is the right way. I'm worried I'll have an opinion and be convinced my opinion is the right one. I've got to remind myself every time I think I'm right, it might only be right for me. And even then, it might be wrong for me because my opinion 100% has changed over the past years. What was right for me 4 years ago might not be right for me today. Davenport. We're stuck. Most of the time I get to go right away here. They're just spaced out far enough that I can't get between them. I think we're good to go here. There we go. I've said it in the past. We like to say, get over it, it happened many years ago. I punched you in the face many years ago, and I did it like every week, and I'm sorry. It happened so many years ago. Please, let's get over it. It's hard to get over it if you're still punching me in the face every week. To pull up our trousers and put our big boy pants on and come to the realization that I am wrong. My opinions are wrong for a lot of other people. Even if they are 100% correct for me, they are wrong for other people. That burger joint apparently is really good. I know, it's a ranting type of day, isn't it? Sorry. I don't know, I can't do much about the way laws are written. I think the only thing I can do is ask other people to read and educate themselves while I do exactly the same thing. I've got to try to educate myself. I don't want to go read books that just, like my brother made a good point, there's no point of reading books that just make you angry. It's like, so angry that we did these things. Well, no, let's read books that, sure, let's get angry about things that civilization has done to people, things that we are still doing to people, but let's learn from them and change these things. Let's pressure our governments to get rid of laws that discriminate. Even though we personally discriminate on a daily basis. Like I did earlier with a red plate. Let's try to get rid of laws that do that. Because we're bad enough as people, we don't need laws to do that as well. Yeah, I'm focusing on certain things, but this is for anything. For racism, discrimination, for religious differences, for anything. called. The author is Trevor Noah. Can't remember the title of the book. I'm so bad with names. Look up Trevor Noah and read how he grew up during apartheid and how he had a white father and a black mom, and how messed up his life was as well. Can't remember the title of it. Look up Trevor Noah. You'll find the book. Read that one as well. And hilarious to read. It was funny. Anyway, catch up with you guys down the road. Maybe we'll be in Idaho by then. I think it'll be long before we see combines on these fields. Wheat looks really short though. They're gonna have the blades really close to the ground. Not enough rain this year. Not enough rain. I bet you the seeds will be small too. Start going down again. Well, that's a cool bridge. Don't know if you guys can see the lake. sign, Lake Coeur d'Alene, Blue Creek Bay. Blue Creek Bay must be to our left, and Lake Coeur d'Alene to our right. I see there's a small road on the other side of the lake that I want to drive. It's right on the lake. That looks like a beautiful drive. Water skiing. Wolf Lodge Bay. Where's Wolf Lodge Bay? Definitely a beautiful area. So I found a rest area on the map that's about an hour away, and that's an hour and 6 minutes away according to my GPS. I have an hour and 20 minutes of drive time left, so thinking I might just stay at that rest area. I have to make some last minute decisions, but I think that's what I'll do. Oh yeah, and I guess no map on this video because I'm going to edit it in a place I don't have any cell service, so some of you guys have mentioned you guys like the maps, so I'll keep putting the maps up whenever I have a chance, but every now and then, like tonight, I won't have cell service because I'll be in the Montana mountains. Unless I get lucky enough that the rest area has Wi-Fi, but I doubt it. Pullout is for. Almost looks like it's a DOT inspection station or a boat inspection station. Oh, maybe that was the chain up area. I bet you there was a sign about chain up before that. I bet that was the chain up area. Does look an awful lot like in the game American Truck Sim, so the game does give you a bit of a feel of what it would feel like driving through here, except in real life it takes hours to go through, while in the game it takes a few minutes. Entering the Idaho Panhandle National Forest. Anyway, I'm out of here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for listening to my rants. I hope my rants, you don't look at my rants as political. I want them to be very not political.